Peace. From back, continuing the story of Moses, we ended up last time with Pharaoh and his forces being destroyed, drowned in the Red Sea, and Moses passing through it with the sons of Israel that followed him and Aaron. And this time I just want to complete the story of Moses as much as I can and explain a few more events that happened after Pharaoh was destroyed. So today I'm going to spend doing that. And the first one is going to be when Moses went up to the mountain to spend 40 nights with God and came down with the tablets. Most people think there was just one tablet with 10 commandments, which is pretty much a lie. He came down with the whole Torah that God wrote everything in and explained everything in that, including the law that mankind is supposed to go by. So let's start with this. It's in chapter 7. And we moved with sons of Israel the sea, but they came over a people, they walking around over idols to them. They said, O Moses, make to us gods, like what to them gods? He said, Surely you people, you ignorant, surely these destroyed what they in it, and wrong what they're doing. He said, Is other than God you seek gods, and he graces you over the knowing? And behold, we saved you from family of Pharaoh. They established you evil, the punishment. They killed your sons and they let live your women. And in that to you, trial from your Lord great. So, hereafter, I mean, this is the joke, literally, mankind is, So the sons of Israel are saved. And the first thing they see people going around idols and they tell Moses, hey, like, make us gods like these gods. Yeah. And then Moses obviously retorts in a quite direct manner that he usually does, and he is known for his straight from the heart and direct, and there's no punches pulled by Moses in any shape or form. So that's what happened. The first thing that happens after they cross over. Yeah. And we promised Moses 30 nights, and we completed them with 10. So completed meeting of his Lord 40 nights. And said Moses to his brother Aaron, Follow me in my people, and write, and don't you follow path of the warring. And when came Moses to our meeting, and spoke to him, his Lord, he said, My Lord, show me, I will look to you. He said, Not can you see me, but look to the mountain. But if stands its place, but soon you will see me. But when gloried his Lord to the mountain, made it dust, and fell Moses struck. But when cleared, he said, Glory you, I turn to you, and I first of the believers. So now he's left the sons of Israel behind with Aaron telling him, don't wrong between them, right between them, and don't follow the path of the warring. And then he comes to the meeting of God, and the first thing he says, I want to see you. And God says, you can't. And then when God gloried, the mountain could not stand its place. So Moses was, he was knocked unconscious. Then when he awoke from his state, he said, I turn to you and I first of the believers. So then God speaks back to him. This is part of the 40 nights that Moses spent with God and his angel in the spirit, obviously. He said, O Moses, surely I choose you over the mankind with my messages and with my speech. But grab what I bring you and be from the thankful. And we wrote to him in the tablets from everything, instruction and explanation to everything. So grab them with force and command your people. They grab with good of them. Soon I will show you home of the rebellious. Soon will turn away over my signs those, they arrogant in the earth without the truth. And if they see all signs, not will they believe with them. And if they see path of the right conduct, not will they take it a path. And if they see path of the transgression, they will take it a path. That with surety they falsify with our signs, and they are over them oblivious. And those who falsify with our signs and meeting of the hereafter shut their deeds. Are they repaid except what they are? They're doing. So this is God inspiring to Moses. He's going to write everything and he tells him to grab it and he shows him this is what the people are going to do. Most of them are going to be arrogant in the earth. They're not going to believe with all the signs. And what's happening on the earth today? Exactly that. Nobody looks at the hereafter. Nobody looks at the signs of God. They're demeaned, they're belittled, they're made into jokes and fairy tales from their minds and their souls and their hearts. So that's what happens. And that's what's happening. And took people Moses from after him from their ornaments a calf, body to it, load. Did not they see? Surely not it spoke to them, and not it guided them a path. They took it, and they were wrongdoers. And when fell in their hands and they saw, surely they had strayed, they said, if not he mercies us, our Lord, and he forgives to our surely being from the losers. And when returned Moses to his people angry, irritated, he said, evil what you followed me from after me. Are you hastening command of your Lord? And threw the tablets and grabbed with hair his brother, he dragging him to himself. He said, son of my mother, surely the people weakened me, and they surely kill me. So don't you mix with me the enemies, and don't you make me with the people the wrongdoing. He said, so now Moses thinks Aaron hasn't done what he told him, and he grabs his hair, drags him, and Aaron is trying to tell him, no, I didn't do this. They weakened me. They didn't follow me. They wanted to kill me. So don't mix me with those people that have taken the calf. So this is Moses getting pretty angry, obviously, here, having a spat with his brother who is also a prophet. He said, so Moses now says, after he understands that he misjudged Aaron, he says, my Lord, forgive to me and to my brother, and admit us in your mercy, and you more merciful of the merciful. So God responds, surely those who took the calf, soon it will be apportioned them anger from their Lord, and ignominy in the life of the world. And like that we repay the inventors. And those who do the evils, then they turn from after them, and they believe. Surely your Lord from after them to be forgiving, merciful. So God responds to Moses that, they'll be apportioned what they did wrong. And he also says, if whoever does evil and then they turn and believe, he will forgive as well. So, it's like there's no hope lost until God completely forsakes you. And he gives us so many chances in our lives. We don't even recognize most of them and most of the chances that he's given us in our lives. We just merrily go around obliviously thinking that nothing is ordained. It's all coincidence and chance. So, and when calmed over Moses the anger, took the tablets, and in them we wrote guidance and mercy to those, they to their Lord they revere. And elected Moses' people 70 men to our meeting. But then when grabbed them the hitting, he said, my Lord, if you wished, you could destroy them from before and to me. Are you destroying us with what did the fools from us? If here accept your trial, you make astray with it any you wish, and you guide any you wish. You are inheritor, but forgive to us and mercy us, and you better of the forgivers. So this is a part of the story where Moses took 70 men from his people to the meeting with God. In chapter 2, God says that he showed himself to the sons of Israel. And I believe these are the 70 men which went with Moses, and God told them, die, and then brought them back out after their death. And they were looking at God, obviously. And even then they did not believe. They forgot, and they weren't thankful even after that. So, the man is just unthankful. He's an ingrate to his Lord in general, and the sons of Israel are no different. So this is one aspect, one of the places this story is mentioned. And the next one, I want to go to chapter 20 and show you another angle to this story. So now God has told the sons of Israel, but this is where they were told in Jerusalem, this stuff, and the same thing basically repeated what we saw in chapter 7. So now Moses comes to God, and God says, "And what hastens you over your people, O Moses?" He said, those over my remnants. And I hasten to you, my Lord, to your happiness. He said, "But surely have we tried your people from after you and made them astray the Samari." So this guy, the name is Samari, is the guy who made them astray, or there was the trial because he was astray himself. And the story continues. It will later on in this sequence, we will see what happened. So this is how God tried them, and they went astray immediately. He let him do what he was doing, and everybody went astray with this guy. And today, all the priests and pontiffs and imams and rabbis and all these gurus, everybody is taking mankind to the fire today. Yeah, I mean, when you follow most of those on the earth, you will go astray. You have to follow the few on the earth that are guided, and you have to figure out who they are. And that's your own choice and your own decision. So returned Moses to his people angry, irritated. He said, "O my people, did not he promise you, your Lord, a promise good? Is but long over you the promise? Or you intend that it be allowed over you anger from your Lord? But you deferred my promise." So he's now accusing them and berating them, and they respond. They said, "Not we deferred your promise with our control, but we carried weights from beauty of the people, but we pushed them, but like that through the Samari." So the Samari threw something in the fire, and they followed him, and they're saying, "Oh, we didn't do this of our control. It's because what he did, we just carried and did what he was doing." I mean, this is what mankind is. "Oh, he told me to do it. I didn't do it. I was ordered to do it." Everybody has a choice. You don't even have to follow the command of God. You have to decide to do it. So when you decide to do something, you are responsible for the consequences, no one else. If you have that choice, and it is freely your choice to decide a certain act of faith, or a deed, action, you are responsible. No one else is going to be held responsible for that. Those who take you astray, they will carry their weights and the weights of making you astray when they were astray. But you will have to carry your own weight. Nobody's going to carry your weight. But came out to them a calf, body to it, load. But they said, "This your God and God of Moses," but forgot. So this is what happened. I mean, this was a response to Moses, but this is what they actually did. They said, "Moses forgot. This is our God, the calf that came out. Did but not they see? Surely not it return to them saying, and not it control to them bad and not benefit? And already said to them Aaron from before, O my people, surely what you being tried with it, and surely your Lord the Almighty, but follow me and obey my command." So this is the confirmation that Aaron did nothing wrong. This is what the Christians accuse Aaron of, that he fell short and he made errors and went astray. That's a bunch of garbage. That's a load of dung. That's what it is. These people are astray that accuse Aaron of being astray, and they mock Moses. They will be the mocked that day. So now here where Aaron is saying, he had already said that this is it is a trial. Obey me and follow me. They said, "Not will we change over it walking around till he returns to us," Moses. He said, now this is what they responded. "Now we're not going to keep doing this. We don't care. We're going to do this, what we're doing, walking around the calf that has come out of the fire, and we're going to serve that till Moses comes back." So Moses now says, "O Aaron, what stopped you? Behold, you saw them astray. Surely not you followed me? Did but you disobey my command?" So this is the same story being repeated with a different angle here that we just read a little while ago. And Aaron responds, "O son of my mother, don't you grab with my beard and not with my hair. Surely I feared that you say you separated between sons of Israel, and not you near my saying." So he said he didn't make any kind of fighting or separation or how do you say, disputation, because he feared that Moses would accuse him of separating the sons of Israel, because the fundamental commandment of God to the believers is, do not separate, stay together. So obviously Aaron is trying to convince them, but they don't want to hear him, and he doesn't do what Moses would have done. So Moses comes and accuses him, and he's in his defense saying that you would have said, "I fear that you would have say you would say that you separated between sons of Israel." So he said, "But what you're addressing, O Samari." So now this conversation is over, and the last one adds to this whole picture that what actually happened, what we read in chapter 7. And then he addresses the Samari. "But what you're addressing, O Samari." So Moses is talking to the Samari now. And the Samari responds, "I saw with what not they saw with it, but I capturing from remnants of the messenger. So I pushed them, and like that questioned to me my soul." So this is what he did. So there's a messenger that obviously came to collect Moses to go to the meeting of God. And that's what I understand here. And from his remnants, he grabbed whatever dust and threw it into the fire. And that's what he says, "That's what my soul questioned to me." So, his soul was telling him to do that for whatever reason. He's astray, obviously. He said, "But go away, but surely to you in the life that you will say, don't touch. And surely to you promised, not will you change it. And look to your God, the one you bowed over it walking around, to us surely burning it, then to us surely blowing it in the water blowing. Surely what your God, God the one, no God except He, encompasses everything knowledge." So this is what happened there at the end. So this is the story of the calf and the 40 nights that Moses spent with God. So he came down with the whole Torah. Everything was written in that Torah that he came. The tablets that he brought down, there was not one tablet. He brought the whole book and wisdom and the law when he came down from the mountain after 40 nights with God. Do you think they were having some parties in those 40 nights up there? God can do everything in an instant. In 40 nights of our accounting, you think that he sent down 10 commandments. You have to be kidding. You gotta give that a break. You gotta listen to the truth. The truth is, the whole Torah came down when Moses came back from the mountain down to the sons of Israel, who were then serving the calf at the behest of the Samari. And then Moses curses him forever that don't touch. So now you see how many people don't like to be touched. That's that curse going through mankind still. They don't want to be touched. So now I'll go on to another segment where Moses tells the sons of Israel to kill a cow, and what happens in that sequence there, which is kind of a joke as well. So this is in Jerusalem. This is after they've spent the 40 years running around in the wilderness, and then God eventually brings them back to Jerusalem, and then there Moses is going to tell them to kill a cow. And why is that? That's in commemoration of what Abraham almost did with his son. He almost killed his son at the behest of God as a huge trial, which never happened. He freed that with the sacrifice, and that is why all the believers who follow Abraham, they go to Jerusalem and they offer an offering. The ultimate offering is a animal. You sacrifice the animal at the so-called altar, which is near the back of the Dome of the Rock, the north side of the Dome of the Rock, and you spend 2 days there and pray and come back. That is the Hajj, or the pilgrimage, that these idiot, moron, ignorant people go to Makkah to do. They have no clue. The Hajj, which is called in the Arabic pilgrimage, is called Hajj for them. I understand it to be the contention. It is the contention of every believer to do this if he is capable. It's not a compulsory thing. It's if you are capable and you want to, then you go do this. And it's in submission to God, obviously, that you're going to make an offering to God in commemoration of what Abraham did, the submission of Abraham to God. So, and behold, we took your promise and we raised above you the mount. Grab what we bring you with force, and remember what in it may be you fear. So this mount is Mount Sinai, as far as I believe. This is when they were in Jerusalem, God told them, grab what we bring you with force, you know. Then you turn from after that, but if not grace of God over you and his mercy, to your being from the losers. And already you know of those who transgress from you in the Sabbath. But we said to them, be apes despised. So ask the sons of Israel. They're after Moses, those who transgress in the Sabbath, some of them were turned into apes there. Yeah, there's no evolution from apes to men. It is a devolution from men to apes. God made apes out of men for transgression. That's an example. He could do it to all of us, and if he accounted us for what we are, he would turn all of us into pigs and apes. Yeah, I mean, he did pigs as well. He made pigs from men. I mean, you don't like it, you can take it up with God. You know, the reality is that, and that is the fundamental reason why the pig is forbidden to eat by mankind. Over mankind, God has forbidden that because it is actually kind of cannibalism, which is also forbidden. So we made them example to what in front of them and what behind them, an instruction to the pious. And behold, said Moses to his people, surely God, he orders you that you kill a cow. So this is the example of the contention, the Hajj, the pilgrimage, the offering at the house, the old house of God in Jerusalem. They said, are you taking us mocking? He said, I seek refuge with God, that I be from the ignorant. They said, call to us your Lord. He clarified to us what hair. So, they're obviously, mocking us. What the hell, tell your God, tell us what it is. He said, surely he says, surely she a cow, not old and not young, balanced between that. But do what you ordered. So Moses, obviously, this is more God inspiring to Moses, and Moses telling them, he's telling you to kill a cow which is not old, balanced between that, and do what you're ordered. So now they respond. They said, call to us your Lord. He clarified to us what her color. He said, surely he says. So now, first time they ask, he says, a cow not old nor young, balance between that. Second time they ask, Moses says, surely he says, surely she a cow brown, perfect her color, she pleasing the lookers. So things are getting more difficult if you don't realize. Yeah, first, second, now what do they say? They say, call to us your Lord. He clarified to us what here surely the cow similitude over us, and surely we, if wishes God, to be guided. Now number 3. Now Moses says, surely he says, surely she a cow, not lowly she traveling the earth, and not she slakes the land, complete, no speck in her. They said, now you come with the truth. So they killed her, and not they wanted, they do. So, this is the example of man is. You give him one thing, okay, go stand in the corner. Why? Oh, because the corner is good for you. But why is it good? You keep asking, you keep asking, you keep asking, and it gets more and more difficult. If they'd just gotten the cow at the beginning, kill any cow. That's what is being told. Oh, you're mocking us. Okay, now you're going to get a cow that's not old and not young, balanced. Okay, you're not going to do that? Okay, perfect cow, perfect her color, pleasing to the lookers. And then again, you're not happy with that. Okay, now you're going to have to get a cow, which is impossible. Not a speck, complete, does not travel in the earth, does not slake the land, doesn't use for plowing the land, for doing nothing of that sort. So you got to have a cow basically grown in a vacuum, and that's the cow you have to go. And then they say, yeah, now you've come with the truth. So this is how mankind is. They just want to keep asking stupidity after stupidity when the act is simple. Just do the simple stuff and move on. God says stand up, just stand up, don't ask questions. But no, mankind is just total delusion. Yeah, and this is the reason, this is the fundamental reason the Sabbath was put on the sons of Israel, because they differed in Abraham. Anyone who differs in Abraham, the Sabbath is strictness. Basically, strictness is engulfed over them, is surrounding them after that. And these so-called Muslims, I mean, they have nothing. They have their own Sabbath invoked over themselves because of their total delusion and their disrespect, dishonoring, disobeying, rejecting, partnering with God, inventing over him, and that's what's happening. This is the way of mankind. These are just examples, I mean, yeah, if you're not sure of something getting done, ask, but this is not in that context. He's just saying kill a cow. So why are you now asking, are you mocking us? I mean, God is commanding you. You know he's the messenger of God. Moses is the messenger of God, and he's telling you to kill a cow. God is commanding you to kill a cow. Kill a cow. That's it. What is he going to do? Kill a cow and then get into her belly? Is that what he's telling them? No. I mean, he's telling them kill a cow, and what do you do with it? You eat and you enjoy. What do you do when you kill an animal? You don't string him up from the next pole and look and stare at it and make all sorts of you know dancing around. Oh, but that's what they do. Yeah, I mean, if you look around at these satanic entities on the earth, uh, they have this goat head as their symbolism. Goat being with as above so below. You have the goat head with the female male body, but that goat head, forget about everything else, that goat head comes from the act of what the sons of Israel did when they served the calf. That calf is a goat. And that was the victory of Satan over the sons of Israel, even after God saved them from Pharaoh. And God forgave them for that. It's not like he didn't forgive them, because he had already decided they're going to be victorious and they're going to return to the Holy Land and they will be established there. So, you have to understand these symbols come from these books that the Satans use as well, and they can't go away from it. They have to use the same thing. It's God who has put these symbols and numbers and everything in place that they have to follow. It's not like they invent things. It's God who creates and invents everything. And he is the perfect being that implements it. So those who believe, they will know the signs. And those who reject will never know what's going on. They will just follow the Satans. And the Bible is clear in all the signs of the Satan. The Quran is clear. The Torah is clear. So this is a joke. Whenever I read this, I kind of laugh at what goes on, and I think of ourselves as well when we are told to do certain things which seem counterintuitive is the word. We kind of start mocking them. Well, what is this simple stuff? Why should we do this? And I mean, God is telling you, the guy is the messenger of God. I mean, if they hadn't accepted him to be the messenger by now and he's back in Jerusalem, then these people deserve much worse than they got. Like most of us deserve much worse than we get. We don't understand God is so merciful over our actions that we forget what we do. Now I want to go to one more place where Moses went with an angel of God, and I just want to end the story of Moses with this. So Moses was told to meet up with a meeting of the two seas that met somewhere. I don't know where this is, but he was told to go there, and he left with one of his servants. So let's see what happens here. So now they're moving along, and they're in search of a joining of the two seas. Moses is, and this is how it starts. And behold, said Moses to his servant, not will I change till I reach joining of the two seas or pass ages. So, they're looking for the joining of the two seas, him and his servant. And he said, I'm not going to change anything till I find that, or many ages have passed, time has passed. But when they both reached joining between them both, they both forgot both their fish, but took its path in the sea visibly. So they were looking for that fish at that point, and when they got there, they forgot the fish, and they did not catch that they had found the joining of the seas, and they went on. But when they moved, he said to his servant, bring us our morning meal. Already we met from our travel this goal. He said, did you see? Behold, we took safety to the rock, but surely I forgot the fish. And naught made me forget it except the Satan, that I remember it, and took its path in the sea wonderfully. He said, that what we seeking. So they both returned over both their tracks, searching. So they had moved on, and then in the summer morning, the next morning or whenever, the servant remembered, and he told Moses that, he remembered the fish, and now he remembers, and what Satan had made him forget. So Now he's reminding Moses, and he said, "Oh, the fish took it." So he actually saw it, but he did not remind Moses that he's seen it, and Satan made him forget it. And then when Moses hears this, he says, "Okay, that's what we were looking for." So they return back. So what happens on the way? But found a servant from our servants. We brought him mercy from within us, and we taught him from our side knowledge. Said to him Moses, "Can I follow you over that you teach me from what taught you of right conduct?" So he's now the servant is obviously not going to go with them. And Moses says to the guy, "I want to follow you so you can teach me what you have learned of right conduct." He said, "Surely not you capable with me waiting. And how can you wait over what not you encompass with it awareness?" So he's telling Moses, "Hey, you're not going to be able to wait. You don't have the capability of waiting. You don't have knowledge. How can you wait when you have no knowledge of what I'm going to teach you?" He said, "Soon you will find me, if wishes God, patient, and not will I disobey to your command." So he's told this guy, whoever this is an angel. I'll let you on right now. Yeah. It took me a while, and most people have no understanding. They call him some person called Khizr. There's no name in the Quran. It's an angel of God. Okay, he's speaking to an angel of God. He said, "Soon you will find me, if wishes God, patient, and not will I disobey to your command." So he says, "So if you follow me, but don't you ask me over a thing till I tell you from it reminder." So this is a covenant. Moses says, "I'm going to be patient." So he says, "If you follow me, don't ask me over anything until I tell you." So they moved together. So they both walked till when they both riding in the boat destroyed her. He said, "Have you destroyed her to your drowning her keepers? Already you bring a thing bad." So now they walked and they're in the boat. How is that possible? Of course, the way the angels move and how things happen, we can't understand. So they walked and they got to inside a boat, and he destroys the boat. And Moses says, "What the hell? Have you destroyed her to your drowning her keepers? You think you're bringing a thing bad." So, he immediately speaks up, yeah. And the angel says, "Did not I say, surely not you capable with me waiting?" He said, "Don't you grab me with what I forget, and don't you cover me from my command difficulties." So Moses being like, defensive and like, "Don't you grab me. So they both walked, so they ended there. They both walked till when they both met a boy, but killed him. He said, "Did you kill a soul pure with other than herself? Already you bring a thing weird." So now the guy's killed a boy, and Moses like, "What is this? You're killing a soul pure without her committing suicide. This is a weird thing." He says, "Did not I say to you, surely not you capable with me waiting?" He said, "If I ask you over a thing after them both, but don't you accompany me, have you reached from my side excuse?" So Moses, obviously, he's a straightforward guy. He's losing out. He's questioning everything he's doing when he was told not to. So now, after the second time, he says, "If I ask, then you have found excuse from me." So they both walked till they both came to keepers of a city. They both asked food of her keepers, but they refused that they be hospitable to them both. But found in her a wall, it wanting that it fall. But stood it up, he said, "If you wished to your taking over it reward." So Moses tells the guy, they didn't feed us, they didn't do anything, and you fixed their wall, you could have asked for a reward. So now the angel responds, "This separation between me and between you, soon I will inform you with explanation of what not you capable over it waiting." So now the angel said, "Okay, I got the excuse." He said, "Okay, I've asked again, you have the excuse to separate between me and between you." So he's not going to wait a second. He said, "Okay, now this is it. You're asking me everything when I told you not to, so this is the separation." So now he explains what happened. "Of the boat, but was too poor, they doing in the sea. But I intended that I sink her, and was behind them a king, he taking all boats under water." So this is the explanation. The angel destroyed the boat to save the keepers from being killed by the king. That's the explanation, which we don't understand why bad things happen to good people. There's an explanation of why some of the things happen to save us from other issues and other trials and events that would be much worse. "And of the boy, but were his two parents believers, but we feared that he would cover them both transgressing and rejecting. So we intended that he be changing to them both, Lord of them both, better from him purity and nearer mercy. So now a boy is killed. I mean, is this a man killing? No way. A man can't go kill a boy. It's an angel. And then the key is, but we feared. It goes from I intended to sink the boat to we feared. So now he's giving his true nature. He is an angel of God, and we intended that he changed. So we are all the angels in the spirit, that the Lord of those two believers change that boy who is better from him purity and nearer mercy. So this is why they killed the boy. So when people are killed, die, don't ask questions. We are all going to die. Don't nitpick of why, who, what, late, early, old, young, fat, slim, sick, healthy. We are all going to die. It's God's decision when we will die, and the term is fixed. It is not a time, it's not an age, it is a term. We have to complete a term on the earth and we will all die. There is no escaping death. This thing must be forgotten by those who have any faith. Death will come to all of us, and then we will be resurrected and shown the reality. So now of the wall, and of the wall, but was to two boys orphan in the city, and was beneath it a treasure to them both, and were both their parents righteous. So intended your Lord that they both reach both their strengths, and he take out treasure of them both. Mercy from your Lord. And not I did it over my command. That explanation of what not you capable of it, waiting. So this is this is a story that you have to keep reading to get details of what's actually going on. And how life actually works. There's no straight, ABC, 1 plus 2 is equal to 2 for God. It's 1 plus 1 equal to 2 for us, but we can't add up like God adds up. His equations are beyond our understanding, and Moses could not understand. So people make fun of Moses that he met this guy and he failed. Yeah, you and I, when we meet up with an angel, we're going to supersede him somehow. Yeah, somehow we're going to have more knowledge than the angel himself. Yeah, we got to understand there are beings and creations so much higher, with so much more knowledge and power and understanding, that we don't even scratch the surface of those things. And God has given some examples in the Quran of what the angels do and what they are and how they act and what their jobs are. There's only 4 angels named, or 5, I think, 4 or 5 angels named in the Quran. But that's not the point here. The point is the angels are all over the place. 2 are by our side, of every man, woman, child walking on the earth. They are protecting us, they are witnessing us, they are doing whatever God commands them, and letting us do what God lets us do with his command. They don't do anything except what God commands. That's why at the end, the angel says that I didn't do this over my command. So they are all commanded by God. They have their wishes. Like when they say, oh, angels cannot have any desires, they have desires. They intended to change that boy. This we is the angel and spirit that he changed, Lord. So these are angels and spirit intending, at least the angels, not the spirit, intending that God change the son that they killed with another one. So he let them kill that boy, and that boy is going to be in hell. So this age, when you say, oh, it has to be above 15, no, there is no age that you will be put in hell or not. God will decide for every soul, when that soul crosses a line, whether that soul will ever believe or not. So this boy had already crossed that line as far as I can see. I can say nothing else. So, this is one other example. So there are many more examples of Moses in the Quran, but I want to end with this one and the story of Moses, which is the end of the 7 examples that I started speaking about in the Quran. And there are other examples that are significant, like Joseph's stories in the Quran, which happened after Jacob, the son of Joseph and the 11 brothers. That's a fantastic story. It's in chapter 12. If you want to read it, you can go and read that, and that corroborates exactly almost what the Bible says. And also the story of Solomon and David, that's quite significant. But these 7 that I've just completed today, they are the major examples of how God dealt with these 7 generations before us. And you can see clearly that each one of them, the enemies of God and his messengers, were eventually vanquished. And today on the earth, if you look around, those who run around saying they're God's friends, pretending to follow his book, are his enemies. The people who hold the Torah, the people who hold the Bible, the people who hold the Quran, they are God's enemies today in all essence. They are the enemies of God because they reject what is in the books. They don't teach what is there. They don't study what is there. And they go on saying about God and his messengers what they have no clue about. They have no understanding. Even if they read the Quran, just the Quran, and try and follow what's in there, it will last them their whole lifetimes. And similar with the Bible. Yeah, the Bible is corrupted, but if you see what is clear, you will understand the corruption in the Bible. You know, the dichotomy, the contradictions that exist, due to which a lot of the Christian so-called Christian population do not go to the Bible because they find those contradictions when they read it, and then they can't hack it. The Quran has some counterintuitive things, some things that we cannot accept directly at first glance, at first reading, but we need to push that away. We need to look at the clarity that is in the book. First, follow the clarity, the things that are commanded, the things that are obvious, the things that cannot be interpreted, that need no understanding. Start from that. There's no God except God. All the good names are to God. So, you know, when you start arguing about God is not Allah, Allah is not God, Yahweh is not God, Om is not God, Khuda is not God. I mean, people just go, that's the first step of their astrayness, and they will never come back from that. So, anyway, I want to end with this story here, and if wishes God, next time I will come up with some other aspects to look at in the Quran, or some other examples that I feel like sharing with you. Till then, peace.